do you want me to go ahead and do a roll call to get us started?
Please.
You know, I'm going to go just in the order I know people are here. So it won't be alphabetical. Robert Eisner.
Here.
Rich Berlandi.
Here.
Dave Fox.
Here.
Emily Brick.
I'm here.
Bob Hannon.
I'm here.
Ned Stachin.
Here.
And Jay Tulin and Mark Simpson are both absent this evening. They sent prior notification.
And we're still short one alternate, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
So call the meeting to order, 7:08. Now that we seem to have some of the technical issues somewhat resolved. First item on the agenda is winding trails. That's unless you change agendas on me again.
No, sir.
Okay, just checking. So first up is winding trails.
Yes. And the gentlemen, both Scott Brown and Brian Cunningham, are here this evening with us. At the last meeting, the application was accepted at the July 7th meeting, and the commission determined the proposal was not significant and did not warrant a public hearing, and no additional information was requested. Both gentlemen are here if there's any follow-up questions. Otherwise, the commission's in a position to go ahead and take action on this if you would like to.
I mean, based on what I remember of the last meeting, everything seemed to be pretty clear, but I guess what I'll do is I'll start with Rich to see if you have any questions or if you seem to be satisfied.
I don't have any questions, and I think I'm ready to move ahead.
Okay, thank you. Emily?
I think this is all clear.
All right, Dave?
Yeah, I'm fine with it as long as the erosion controls in the items for consideration are there. I'm all set.
Okay, Robert?
No questions.
Okay, Ned?
No questions. They made clear that they're not using a rubber-based mix with the AstroTurf. So with the sand-only base, that was my concern, and it seems to be addressed. And the erosion control needs to be installed on the edge between the water.
Okay, thanks. And I don't have any questions either. And I'll reiterate what everybody else is saying as far as the erosion sedimentation controls. That's going to be important. So seeing as how nobody seems to have any questions, does somebody want to put forward a motion to approve this?
This is Ned. I'll make a motion. Should we ask the applicant to confirm the erosion control?
Just, you know, because we're going to probably use this one. Sorry.
Good evening. This is Brian Cunningham, 18 Ledgewood Drive, Farmington. Ned, the erosion control will be placed along probably about halfway down the beach. That way we don't interfere with the delivery vehicles coming in with the equipment when they come around to doing that. But it'll be like the straw wattles.
Okay.
Stake.
Thank you. I'll make a motion to approve the application.
Any conditions with that or not?
With the erosion control that's being recommended
Okay.
by the town.
Okay. Is there a second?
Dave will second.
Just quickly go through and see if anybody has any questions or comments on it. Rich?
No questions.
Emily?
I have no questions.
Dave?
Questions?
Robert?
No questions.
Ned?
No.
I have no questions either. So we have a motion to approve this project with the erosion sedimentation control measures. So those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? Abstaining? Good luck, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming in.
Thank you.
Good to see you. See you guys later.
Second item on the agenda is Plant 17, 1179 Farmington Avenue.
Yes, and I believe we've got Attorney Galsky on the phone and Stanley Mirzajewski on the phone as well.
Yeah, we're here, Shannon.
Oh, and standing out, Segrin's here as well as an attendee. I can move her over to a panel so she can participate as needed. So, Bill, do you want to take the lead, or you want me to start with just some of the photos that have come through, or do you want to start with?
I would say go ahead. A picture's worth 1,000 words. Go ahead.
Okay. So these are the photos that have been shared with everyone from my visit out to the property last Friday morning. So this is about midway through the property, looking back west out to where the parking area is. Clearly the vegetation is taking hold. And this is I just went 180 around.
Yep.
So down in this area is the restoration. Here's the restoration area, and you can clearly see the standing water still there. You can see the straw wattles staked here. The wattle here, the mesh has been removed, and wattle is starting to be broken open and gaps between the restoration area and wetland A. And a variety of the new, you can see some of the taller plantings in there. More of the restoration area. And then this is a photo to the back of the wetland creation area that clearly is inundated. You're actually getting a nice reflection in the water of the vegetation from that photo. And that was the picture off further to the east of area that has not been seeded yet and isn't taking yet. This is the aerial from July 13th. Again, it's very easy this way. The bird's eye view is quite nice to see how things are taking. You can see the larger, and here you can see the larger plants and the straw around the plants. And the pond area, indicated this would have been right after Elsa came through. And then this is from July 19th, just this past Monday. And you're getting a little more green. Everything's greening up a little more, seeing more green to the north side of the access road that had been left in place, and things starting to take hold. Again, this area is still inundated, so that'll continue to be monitored. Obviously, the monitoring wells aren't in there yet. They can't get in there to install the monitoring wells, and really the main purpose of the monitoring wells was to check the elevation of the water, so that's kind of self-evident at the moment. So, they will get in. Mr. Mirzajewski has all the materials available. Obviously, the water's got to recede and the surface stabilize a little bit for them to get in and get that installed. And then the inspection report that Singren put together was based on her inspection from, I think it was a July 10th inspection written on July 11th, and that was emailed to everyone. And then again, I think the pictures, we'll go to the pictures worth 1,000 words, really is covered from her report. These are the photos that were provided, and clearly evident the germination. And this is a northerly view from the restoration area. There's some areas, as we saw in the aerial that you know, where the bobcat had been back and forth. It's not necessarily, the seeding isn't coming in evenly, but it is fairly green. So it's anticipated that those areas, even where the bobcat had tracked with assistance that was needed to get the plants in, it's expected that those areas will start to germinate, and if not, then they can always overseed either in the fall or next spring. And this is a black cherry in this photo. And this is a red oak growing. You can see the straw wattle stake and the hay, the straw tree well around the trees, the planting well around each of the trees. And what I had noticed and asked them to look into, because we've had so much rain, and for those that perhaps haven't been tracking, we've had over 10 inches of rain since July 1st, which is unheard of. We're on pace to set a record, is my understanding. So this tree well, and it's pretty consistent through, has filled in with sediment, and the only issue may be is that in some cases, for some of these trees, that sediment has come up the trunk a little bit, and I don't want to have the trees choked out, because some of them now technically are planted too deep because this tree well area is completely filled in. There really isn't notable washout areas, and as more of the grass starts to revegetate, it shouldn't be a problem. Those tree wells just need to be kind of cleared out and make sure the stem of those trees are exposed a little more than they are right now. And Mr. Mirzajewski indicated he's going to have a crew out there in the next day or two to take a look and make any of the adjustments as needed. And this note, it's just that most of this is the grasses that's germinating in this photo. There's a small ragweed, but there's very little weeds coming up. When I was out there, I think I noticed just a handful of knotweed coming up, which was really, really great to see. This is a photo of some meadowsweet this is the spirea. This is the spirea, but there's a note that meadowsweet has been planted and is doing well, and the survivorship is about 100%. Spirea is doing well as well with the pink blossoms here. This is an area that there is, and this is at the far eastern end now. There's still a little bit of erosion in this area. Some of these deltas in the wetland creation area will probably remain because they'll allow for some transitional vegetation and different opportunities for plant growth and revegetation. There are some areas that'll have to be pulled back and restabilized. And there's just a handful of trees that are going to have to be replaced. But Sigrun's, my understanding, has done a full inventory, and if they'll do some replanting in the fall, it'll also give them an opportunity to see how that wetland creation area is really coming along and the vegetation that was planted there versus the inundation that's been sustained now through July that I don't think any of us would have anticipated that we'd have this much rain in the month of July. So, and Sigrun, I know you're on the line. Is there anything you'd like to add, or a photo I can go back to if I missed something that you feel is important to point out to the commission?
I think if they've been able to read the full captions as well, I would say it's really an open question as to when the weather normalizes, what the hydrology is going to, how long the water is going to stay in the sumps and in the swales in the creation area, and we'll have to adjust the plantings in the fall to what it turns out to be.
Sure.
Yeah, the herbaceous plantings, but the majority of the woody plantings were on the upper slopes and on the berms, and they should be okay.
Okay, perfect. Then I think that was all I had. There's was some excavation that was going on near Wetland B, that Stanley. So these are some additional photos that I had taken, and this is what I was talking about. Is this you know, material accumulating up against the trunks. And,
Scrape it
you know,
back a little.
just getting that pulled back so we don't suffocate the plants. And then there's different stockpiles, and this is outside the barricade area, but it is on the backside of Wetland B, that there was some excavation going on. So we're gonna work in the field to set kind of a demarcation so we don't have any impact to Wetland B. So it was technically in an area that's allowed to work. It's just on the immediate other side of that, on the east side of that stockpile area is Wetland B. So we're gonna work through that in the field to make sure that wetland remains protected. I don't know, Bill or Stanley, is there anything else that needs to get shared or anything I missed?
I don't think so. You know, it's been, you know, very well worked over the past several weeks, and I think everything's pretty much under control, subject to the couple things that you mentioned that are obviously related to all the water that's been out there.
Right.
Yeah, Shannon, this is Stanley. Like I emailed you this afternoon. We'll be out there tomorrow with some guys and just look at the areas you've been talking about. And if we could remediate them without making more of a mess, we will. If not, we'll have to wait till it dries out somewhat.
Okay. Yeah, these are all on the slope, so I'm thinking we'll be able to get, so those,
Yeah.
all these tree wells are on the slope in the restoration area. In the creation area, we probably can't get to them. But that restoration area adjacent to Wetland A, these are all on the slope, going down in. And on Friday, I was able to get up next to them. I was able to go pretty much right up to the edge of the wetland restoration area.
We'll be out there tomorrow morning.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
So, commission members, does anyone have any questions or concerns or anything with respect to this, since we've got everybody on the phone? And
I'll just go back in order, Shannon. So Rich, anything?
No, I don't have any questions. It looks really good to me. I'm appreciative of all the effort.
Okay, thank you. Emily?
I have nothing. This is extremely clear.
Thank you. David?
No, nothing for me.
Okay, thank you. Robert?
No questions. The progress looks great. Thank you.
Thank you. Ned?
No questions. It looks like progress is going well in spite of, you know, very wet conditions, making it more difficult. Seem to be adapting.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, I really don't have anything either. The one thing I'm assuming though is people will continue to work with Shannon. You know, if there's some things that need to be overseeded or some plants replaced in the fall, things of that nature, just making sure the town staff is involved in the dialogue so they know what's coming up and when things may need to be done. But other than that, I'm happy to see how things are coming back. But I do have a question for you, Shannon. I didn't quite understand your comment when you were glad to see a little bit of knotweed. Was it you were glad to see that there's just a little bit of it, or you're glad to see there's some of it?
Yeah, considering how much was there and
Yeah.
The job they did to remove it with the York rake and getting it stockpiled and covered off site.
Yep.
The fact that I only saw one sprig come, not that, I mean, it would be great if there was none, but the
Yep.
fact that there was only one is, I think, a testament to how thorough a job they did, given that it was pretty much scattered throughout that area. And I didn't walk it like every square inch, but there was only, I mean, it stands out compared to the grasses, it stands out, and I only saw one clump. So, within this area that was worked, and again, they used the York rake to get everything up. So,
Looking at it from that perspective, that is very good news.
yes, yeah, and I think even the stability that we are seeing here, and withstanding 10 inches of rain. The fact that they got out in June and got everything done when they said they were going to, the way they said they were going to, is huge. If this was even 1 month behind, it would have been a real problem with all the rain we had in June. So this is really good.
Yeah, because I thought I heard on the news not too long ago, a few days ago, the record is like 11.5 inches for the month of July, the all-time record. So I'm curious as to whether or not we're going to reach that, or maybe just be short, but still, that's a lot of water for July.
It sure is. It sure is. So my thought, obviously we break in August anyhow. My thought was to, obviously they'll be continuing. I'll go out at this point maybe once a month because there's not a lot to see, but maybe ask Stanley and Bill to come back either in October, late October, early November, just to do a touch check-in in the fall. If we continue to get drone photos, I can do, just brief updates with the drone photos. They've been fabulous. But I certainly don't see a need for them to be in before that unless anyone feels differently.
Yeah, and I think that period of time would also give us a better perspective as to if there are some plants that need to be replaced in the fall.
Sure.
Hopefully the water subsides somewhat so that you're actually able to get there and do some of the work. So we'll see how that goes. So, okay.
Okay. Sounds good. I think
Right.
that's,
Thank you very much for the photos and everything else. It is looking good out there.
Thank you.
Thank you for your cooperation and enjoy the rest of your summer.
Thank you.
Thank you.
thank you, you too.
Wait for Tim to.
So I have nothing else on the agenda that you sent to me. So are we now at the planner's report?
Yes, and the only thing I have for planner's report, moving along, is trying to land on a site walk date for the Midpoint Development site. And I've heard, I know, Rich, you had responded very early on. It sounded like you were mostly available in the evenings, so, but I'm not sure with these specific dates in August or September where you fell, but it looks like between August 25th and September 9th, we can get everyone in.
Yeah, Shannon, I have no idea what I'm going to be doing at that time, but I'm sure I can work this into it if that's when everybody else is available.
Okay. So, and the applicant has pretty much conceded that we'll probably postpone from the September 1st meeting. So at the August 25th walk, I've got Bob Cannon, Robert Eisner, Mark Simpson, Ned Stachin, and Jay Toolin available. And then September 9th, some of the same people, so you would have a choice, but it gets me back in Fox, Berlandi, and Brick, who were not available on the 25th. So that's what I was gonna go with. And then the applicant, like I said, was probably thinking of pushing off of September 1st anyway, just because of vacations and other things that are going on. So it'll likely come back in on September 22nd then for the hearing, and I'll check dates with Sandy. We'll probably need them to grant us an extension based on the timing, since they were here at the first meeting in July. August, September, yeah, we're not gonna, the 65 days isn't gonna get us to September 22nd, so we'll need an extension to get to the 22nd. And so, unless I hear otherwise from any of you, it's kind of a speak now or forever hold your peace. That's what I'm gonna go with. I'm gonna tell them August 25th and September 9th, we'll do 2 walks, and then you folks can, like I said, pick the day. Some of you were available both days, you can pick and choose then. And the only other thing, I think, Mr. Hannon, I just want to check if I understand your schedule correctly. You're here for both meetings in September and likely out for both meetings in October?
It's not likely out for the meetings in October. I am out for the meetings in October.
All right.
Yeah, I should be here for the meetings in September. Or what are the dates?
The 1st and the
Yep.
22nd.
Yep, no, that's fine because it's the middle part of the month that I'm going to be in Wisconsin and Illinois.
Okay.
Shannon, as
All
far
right.
as I know, I have no plans to be out of town, so I should be able to make the meetings.
Okay. Thank you, Robert. And Dave Fox, I've got you out for the September 1st meeting.
That's right.
Okay.
The 22nd is okay, though. So it's the 1st and the, okay, yeah.
Yeah, so just the 1st, you're okay for the 22nd. Okay.
That sounds like a trip to P-Town.
You're right, Bob.
Oh, I dealt with that for how many years, Dave?
So,
Hope
okay.
you have good weather, though.
Yeah, let's get all the rain done in July.
Clearly, we're due for some dry weather in August, that's for sure. So, okay, perfect. Thank you all for your patience with this. This has been an interesting one to try to get scheduled, but I think we're there, so.
Well, I also think this is going to be an important project for people to actually take a look at the site.
Agreed.
You know, that close to the river, you just, you know, it's better to go out there, walk it, and really see with your own eyes what it looks like and go from there. So I'm glad you're able to work it out.
Yes, me too. Me too. I think it'll work well. And you were all CC'd on the email that I got from Darcy Winther that came in after the meeting in July. So it was sent to you and it was shared with the applicant. I haven't heard any follow-up from them. I really wasn't expecting any, but it's been shared universally so that everyone has the same information.
Okay, thank you.
That is all I have on planner's report.
Okay, so then next on the agenda is minutes. Can I get a motion to approve the minutes of July 7th, 2021?
This is Rich, so moved.
Is there a second?
Second by Robert.
Okay. And I'll just go around and ask if there's any comments, questions, corrections. Rich?
Nope.
Emily?
I actually wasn't even at the meeting, so I think everything's fine, but I don't know.
Okay. Dave?
Well said.
Robert?
No comments.
Ned?
No comments.
Nor do I have any. So have a motion on the floor to approve the minutes for the Wetlands Conservation meeting
July 7th.
July 7th, 2021. So those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? Abstaining? So we'll call this quick portion of the meeting over at 7:36 and start conservation. And I don't think there's a whole lot here.
Yeah, still no land acquisition meeting.
When is the last time they met, Ned? Do you remember?
No, it was like 4 or 5 months ago.
Okay.
Yeah. My understanding is Kathy Blonsky may step in the interim to run the meeting. So you might be receiving notice. Obviously, I don't believe there'll be a meeting in August, but perhaps reconvening in September. So just FYI, and look for, you might be getting an email from Kathy or one of the assistants from the town manager's office to get that meeting pulled together.
Okay.
Yep. And the only other thing, the new simple recycling program is out. You would have all received your newsletters in the mail. So
Today.
so I got mine yesterday, so they should be hitting everybody's mailbox, if not in the last few days, in the next few upcoming days. But the program went to, online scheduling as of Monday. I haven't heard any major outcries, so this is good. So that's moving ahead. Also in the newsletter, we've got some stormwater, little tidbits about, nothing but rain down the drain and things like that. Some reminders for folks about, good pet management and good property management. So hopefully some of those reminders are read and heeded.
Okay,
That's it.
all right, thank you. So I guess that leaves approve the minutes of July 7th, 2021 for the Conservation Commission meeting. Can I get a motion to approve the minutes?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Dave will second.
Okay, just go around quickly. Any questions, comments, corrections? Rich?
No questions.
Emily, same comment?
Same as before.
Okay, Dave?
Good.
Robert?
Nothing here.
Ned?
No questions.
I have nothing either. So we have a motion on the floor to approve the minutes of July 7th, 2021 Conservation Commission meeting. Those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? Abstaining? So be it. Have 7:38. I guess we can close and want to wish everybody a happy August. Hopefully people, they're planning on taking some time off. You get some good weather, some sun, a little bit of rain just at night when it doesn't matter, and low humidity. So,
I think
Here,
you're
here.
asking.
what?
Shannon, I've got,
Go ahead.
sorry.
Go ahead.
Shannon, I've got one question. My term is up in September. Is that the
Okay.
beginning of September or end of September?
It would expire on September 30th, so yes, I hadn't looked at that yet. So if you could reach out to your party representative so that it can be on the agenda at the September Town Council meeting, assuming you would like to be reappointed, that would be really beneficial, because otherwise Town Council typically won't meet until after our first meeting in October. So if you don't get reappointed in September, then you'll have to sit out the October meeting. You have to sit out until you get reappointed. So if you
Okay.
could reach out
Thank you.
and get that taken care of, that would be great. Thank you. Thank you for being on top of that. That's helpful.
Yeah, Shannon, what seats expire the end of September? You know off the top of your head?
I don't, and I'm looking, I don't have my list here with me, Bob, so I'm gonna have to, I can follow up with an email.
All right.
Because generally it's 2, sometimes 3.
Right,
So
that's what I'm asking.
Yep. No, I can follow up with an email tomorrow.
Okay.
This is Ned. What I started to ask was, is there an inclination to get back to the council chambers for meetings? Is it still up to the individuals?
Yeah, so right now, in what's come through from the statutes, from the legislature with their implementer bill, was allowing a hybrid meeting. So that's basically what we're doing. So like Monday night, I had zoning board of appeals. I had 5 applications. All 5 applicants came in, and I had 5 out of 7 board members were here in the chambers. So we can start moving back whenever you folks are ready to come in. Dave came in last month. I understand tonight was a late agenda. It doesn't really make any sense this evening.
Yeah, I was thinking of starting to come back in September, but.
Yep,
I
that'd
am
be
as
great.
well. I think if I'm not mistaken, I thought that what the governor had signed was allowing sort of that hybrid through April of next year.
Correct.
So, but I mean, I'm fine coming back to the council chambers. So I'll probably start doing that in September.
Yep. but I will still, so anyone's welcome to come in, join Sandy and I, we're tired of looking at just each other. And, you're welcome to come in, and the applicants are told as well. And what I try to do is let the applicants know kind of percentage-wise how many commission members are coming in. So that's why I've been asking, because obviously if everyone's gonna be on Zoom, then they might as well be too. But if everyone's coming in, then the applicants are inclined to come in. So it's just helpful to get a general sense ahead of time. Certainly there's things that come up that change that. But I will continue to have to run Zoom. So I'll be sitting here at this long table because I'll have to run the computer for anyone that's wanting to watch this online, or even a handful that need to participate or want to participate online.
So for the public hearing that's coming up in September, that could be a combination of some people participating, and I'm talking about the public participating online or actually being present in the council chambers.
Correct.
Okay.
Yes. Yep.
Would people need to register in advance
I
to
haven't
speak
been.
at that? I mean, and I'm saying that from what I'm dealing with the siting council, there for anybody to do any type of presentation, they have to sign up with the siting council in advance. But this, I'm not sure is quite as complicated as what the siting council is dealing with their hearings.
Sure. We haven't been, for any of them, so last night, like I said, I had 5 applications. There was, I would say so there's 2 people, there's somewhere between 10 to 15 people, in the council chambers, from an applicant standpoint, plus I want to say there were 5 or 6 commission members on Monday night, and Sandy and I, so, unless the governor changes orders regarding inside gathering, right? So right now, there's no restrictions on inside gathering, so there's no need to register ahead of time then. So it's just, you and I can work through a protocol. My general thought was if most of the commission will be in, that my guess is the applicant will also be in.
Okay.
The applicant will be here. And then it's just then managing the public comment, and the general thought would be to handle the public comment for those that come in first, and then go to any online comments for anyone that calls in, and do it that way, so that we kind of get a clear segregation and some order to it. And but we can work through that as we get closer.
Okay. That sounds good. Anybody else have anything they want to say, or no, we're all set?
No, I'm all set.
Well, enjoy the little vacation, because
Enjoy
September's going to be interesting.
Like I said, we've certainly earned a reprieve. We had a tough fall the first half of the year. Hopefully, we get a quieter second half.
Hopefully.
Hopefully.
All right. Take care, everybody, and
Good night, everybody.
Good night. Have a good summer, rest of
Bye,
the summer.
everyone.